I lost my shoes. I don't need a paper to know the news. Think I'll just go uptown. Everybody there throwing around my name. Seems like I'm always catching that plane. It's just another one of them small town games. Think I'm gonna lose this round. 'Cause everybody knows the kind of life that you're bound to lead if it's wrong or right. Everybody knows all about your share of ups and downs. Everybody knows everybody in this town. Long tall Molly in a mini dress. Saturday night she's a ballin' mess. Sunday morning she'll confess. Everybody's listening now. Later on down that same night, two grown men in a barroom fight. Factory's gone back on strike. Everybody's talking now. 'Cause everybody knows the kind of life that you're bound to lead if it's wrong or right. Everybody knows all about your share of ups and downs. Everybody knows everybody in town.
All righty, gang. Again, that's the track Everybody in This Town, performed by none other than Chicago Farmer. Cody, how are you, brother?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me tonight.
Dude, you are so welcome, man. You know, I first saw you perform out at summer camp a couple years ago, and a lot of my friends, you know, had listened to your music for a long time before I got turned on to it at summer camp. And that track was the first one I'd heard you perform. And from that, you know, it led me on to listening to other tracks of yours. And I got to say, man, I love it, dude. And I hate to say this, but, I mean, as soon as I heard it, I thought, you know, like guys like Arlo and Woody Guthrie, and I just thought, man, there's not a lot of people out there doing that kind of music these days. You know, so, dude, I love it, and thanks for taking the time tonight.
Oh, well, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Anytime I can be mentioned in the same sentence as some of my heroes, it's always an honor. And I think this last year was like my 11th summer camp, and I'm just, you know, I'm thrilled that, you know, that the festival right here in our backyard kind of took a big chance on me a lot of years ago before anybody even knew who I was or what I did, and threw me on a stage, and you know, every year it just gets better and better. So, yeah, I'm thrilled to be here talking to you guys.
Well, you know, you were playing in one of the small stages back in 2012, kind of over there by where you first walk in. It was a campfire stage, I think. I can't remember. Right by the Red Barn there. And that was the year that you smashed the laptop.
Yeah, you know, I try to keep it fun, keep it fresh. You know.
Oh man, and you know, I have to agree with you. As far as summer camp goes, and I'm not a big fan of the dubstep music, and I was kind of like, I don't know, I won't say disappointed, but you know, whatever. I just wasn't thrilled, about as thrilled as you were smashing your laptop, man. But the story that you told about how, you know, your first 2 years there at summer camp, you were just playing outside of your tent, and you bugged them so damn much till they finally threw you on a stage, and now to see you going bigger stage to bigger stage each year and all over the damn Midwest, man. I mean, I know this is what you wanted, but did you think it'd take longer to get you where you are, or are you thinking this is progressing quite well?
It's been a long ride. Yeah, a lot of people, you know, are just hearing about me and what I do for the first time, which is great. But yeah, I've actually been doing this for a really, really long time. I grew up in a little town called Delavan, and just couldn't figure out what I wanted to do with my life. So I decided I wanted to play music, and I love to write, and poetry was kind of my thing to do at first. And I started putting the guitar to it to kind of put it in motion. And one of my buddies was like, hey, let's go to this music festival. It's just up the road. And I didn't really know anything about music festivals. So we just went and had a blast and kind of just, you know, just a weekend of a lot of freedom, and I saw the musicians, and it just looked like so much fun. And I was like, man, it's so much fun to watch this, but man, if I could be up there on one of those stages, that would be even cooler. So I kept practicing, and I used to play outside my tent and in the parking lot, and then I kept singing my songs, and people kept talking about me, and finally they threw me up on a stage, and every year it gets a little bit better, and I get a little more known, and it's better late than never as far as I'm concerned. So it's been worth
Hell
the
yeah,
wait,
my man.
worth all the miles, if you ask me.
Well, you play a lot of festivals. I know you just did Shoe Fest not too long ago. There's all kinds of great ones all over the place. I just want to ask, is summer camp your favorite one to play, or is there one out there that you just really love to go to?
Well, summer camp is special because it's right there in our area, and the way it's grown so much, and I like diversity. I have my fun with poking a little fun at electronic music, but man, I respect anybody who dedicates their life to playing any kind of music or any kind of art. I tip my hat to anybody that does that. I tip my hat to you guys for doing this show. So, I can't put down anybody else. Yeah, I can't put down anybody for living their dream. I give them props, and my heart goes out to them. I wish them nothing but the best. But my type of music that I prefer is kind of the roots Americana acoustic music. And so when I go to a festival that has where that's the focus, that obviously kind of becomes home to me. So, I love all kinds of music, and I love that the music scene in Central Illinois is getting diverse. I think it should, because, we're a diverse community here in Central Illinois. So I think there should be something for everybody. But, for as far as my personal taste, I'm kind of a nut for the roots music and the songwriters type genre. So things like Shoe Fest are just so up my alley, and there's another one called the Whispering Beer Folk Festival that's in Friendship, Indiana. I play every year, and just kind of where the song is the thing. I'm a song guy, so those just speak to me a little bit more.
Well, since we're speaking of songs, I've got a few of your tracks queued up, and I wanted to play a very popular track of yours called For Dad. And then
Sure.
I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your songwriting, but I wanted my listeners, to hear this and hear the small town of Delavan, coming out in this song, because I can feel it, dude.
All right.
Well, it was the night before Christmas, and all through the bar, creatures were stirring, their mouths ajar. Back by the pool table, there rose such a clatter. People gathered round to see what was the matter. It's the most impressive sight anybody ever saw. That is this side of the old Mackinac. Yeah, Dad and I's putting on one heck of a show. See, we'd won 6,748 games of pool in a row. And the onlookers, they just couldn't believe their eyes. They're stepping to the table and dropping like flies. One by one, we's putting them to bed with visions of Jaeger bombs all in their heads. And they's handing us drinks and buying us dinner. We's giving them fits and taking no prisoners. Just separating all the men from the boys down at the Farmhouse Bar and Grill in Delavan, Illinois.
So, Cody,
Yeah.
what I like about watching you perform and listening to your music, I smile and I laugh, because you're not only singing and playing music, but it's truly telling of a story. And I just wanted to hear from you, how growing up in Delavan, has really influenced your music, man.
Yeah, sure. I mean, my grandparents were, they're like some of my favorite people still. I'm really fortunate to have known my grandparents, and like not only are they my grandparents, but I'm like friends with them, and we have great times. And my grandpa always tells, stories about back in the day, and I love hearing him tell stories, and I love my grandma and the way she, been working hard their whole lives, and that definitely has a big impact on me. And I feel like, I don't have any kids of my own. I have an amazing wife, but, I grew up with an amazing, hardworking family that really told me to follow my dreams. And, when I was in high school, I was causing a lot of trouble, and, the police were showing up at our front door from time to time, and it was probably embarrassing. It was probably a little embarrassing for my family, and, my grandparents was at the small town, and everybody, do something wrong, everybody knows about it. But, even my grandparents, the old school, the family, they never gave up on me. They told me that, I would get past it. I just needed to find something to do, and that thing was music. And so I kind of took all the inspiration I had from them, and I started, kind of like my grandpa, I started adding stories to my songs, and it seemed to, a lot of my songs are fun, and a lot of them are funny, but, I've gone through plenty of hard times in my life, so a lot of these songs, are kind of to cover up some things, like this song, for instance. I wrote it not too long after my dad passed away. I just kind of needed something to make me and my sister and my mom and the rest of the family smile, so I wrote this song one night just to kind of cover up the heartache of losing a family member, because my family just, they mean so much to me, and they've inspired me and, told me to go for it. So you can't ask for anything more as a kid, trying to follow a dream.
Well, something that you had mentioned about working hard kind of seems to be the theme tonight with our last guest, Josiah Williams. He's a rapper that went to Bradley U and whatnot, and in talking with him,
that's great, man.
It's that positive energy and that hard work, and it just seems like so many people today, they see these TV shows like American Idol or So America's Got Talent or all that crap on TV, and they think that all I got to do is go on this dang TV show and I can be a star, and it ain't that easy, man. I mean, there's a lot of damn hard work that goes into people just hearing one track.
Yeah, I think like I said before, I don't like to put anybody else down for their music or anything, but I think we just kind of throw around the word artist a little too lightly. Just because you have some money in your pocket and you can go down to Nashville and give somebody some money so they can press record, that doesn't really make you an artist. I feel like it's kind of an insult to the other people out there making art who, spend the blood, sweat, and the tears making it every day of their life. And there's a lot of times, I was just playing for tips and, beers, and then after I'd get free beers, I'd have to pay for my beers, and I'd walk out, owing more money than I made, like the Blues Brothers. Like, literally, I did that for probably 6 or 7 years, but I just knew that I'd persevere, and just knew that, I had songs, and I knew that, if I kept working on them and making the songs better, that people would eventually listen. And I feel like I work hard. It's not a hard job, but people who do work hard, they inspire me to work even harder at what I do. So definitely the hard work, man. It's hard to keep your head up when you're an artist, especially these days. There's so many expenses, and it's tough, and that's why I tip my hat to the Central Illinois music scene. I think it's building, and whether it's rap or whether it's what I do or rock and roll, it seems like people are responsive to it, and people are starting to support it more and more. And I think that makes the talent better too. And we're kind of becoming more of a community here for all different kinds of music, and I'm excited about it.
Well, Vic Nasty, I wanted to throw it over to you, homeboy. I know you got some questions.
Sure do. Cody, I spent the better part of, 10 years living in Manitou, and, I know, a little bit about the small town and going to Delavan for, different events and stuff like that. Was there any culture shock that you felt going from a small town out into the touring world and, into the bigger cities and what have you?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Coming from a town of 1,700, moving to Chicago, that was crazy, man. I think I pulled into Chicago, and I could see the Sears Tower, like, off in the distance, and I think I was the only person on 55 who was actually going the speed limit. And people were threatening to kill me and cutting me off, and, there was a couple times where I thought about turning around and going home with my tail between my legs back to Central Illinois, but there was just there's just this energy up there where I knew I wanted to do my thing, and I knew I had to experience, so I pressed on. But yeah, it was definitely a culture shock. My car got broken into the first day that I lived in Chicago. That was my little welcoming gift. That was my little welcoming gift to the city. Welcome, here we're going to break into the car, and I've been robbed a couple times up there, and it was definitely different than Delavan, that's for sure. But I'm glad I experienced it. I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. I think Chicago farmers, both sides of Illinois, the big city, and the rest of us, and I'm happy to have spent part of my life in both.
Hell yeah! Where exactly did the name for the the band Chicago Farmer come from?
I kind of wanted to start a band. Actually, that was kind of the plan. But when I moved to Chicago, I lived with I had 7 roommates in my first apartment. And they were all musicians, and they were friends of mine. That was the only way we could afford to live up there. So we had 8 of us, and a couple of us had girlfriends too. So there was about 11 or 12 of us at a time. And after that, I decided, I like musicians, I like to be friends with them, but I don't need to be with them, that much. So I decided, the hell with that, I'm just going to be solo. And so kind of been solo ever since, and the name stuck. So I kind of like it.
Hell yeah.
There was kind of, when I moved to Chicago in 2002, there was kind of this alt-country music scene going on, and so I remember the first day I walked out of that apartment, there was some people in flannels and trucker hats and cowboy boots, and I was like, wow, this kind of isn't as weird as I thought it was going to be. There was kind of there was kind of a little bit of that kind of scene going on there, and people were playing a lot of roots music, and people were playing folk music in the coffee houses, and there was spoken word and poetry going on, and so it didn't take very long to adapt, I guess.
Well, Cody, I wanted to talk a bit about the Back and Forth Illinois vinyl release that you got coming up October 4th at the Apollo Theater here in downtown Peoria.
Sure.
Tickets are on sale now. They're only $10 at the door. I'm going to pull up my info here. There it is. They're $10 in advance, $13 at the door. And then you've got a special guest, Pete Jive. And, again, this is the vinyl release party for the Back and Forth Illinois album.
Yeah, we released the CD back in February of last year, and we've just been touring nonstop, like you mentioned, at festivals and clubs all over the country. And a lot of people have been asking me, do you do anything on vinyl? And I never had before, and it's kind of coming back, and people are wanting it. And I still have a record player at home and listen to some records from time to time, and I love it. So we ordered up some vinyl, and it was a pretty cool and interesting process. And so that's going to be the big local release there at the Apollo Theater on the 4th of October. I'm really looking forward to that, and letting people take this vinyl home and hear it in kind of more of an organic way than it already is.
Well, and with vinyl, man, I mean, it just seems to have a little bit warmer sound. You can kind of, you can hear the needle as it spins the vinyl, and you just kind of get that little bit of a crackle to it. And I think that's what endears people to the vinyl is it's that warm, old school feeling,
Yeah, and we recorded it pretty old school too. We recorded it live, most of it, and we also recorded on the old analog tape, which they use, the reel-to-reel. It's a pretty old school thing to kind of to capture that too. So to have that and then to have it on vinyl, it's a pretty cool thing. So I'm excited about it. I've got to hear it, and there's little fun crackles here and there and things I didn't notice on the CD when I listened to it in the car, when it came out. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Hell yeah, my man. And I know you got a slew of shows coming up, man, through all over central Illinois. You're heading up to Ohio, over to Indiana, Wisconsin, Iowa. I mean, dude, you are a busy, busy man.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I'm out on the road, I'm always looking forward to being home, and whenever I get home, I'm always looking forward to getting back out there. So I've been very fortunate. My wife, she's an online teacher, so she gets to travel with me and come to all these places.
Oh, nice.
And we kind of get to experience it all together. And for me, they call it folk music, I guess, and I love getting out there and meeting folks in different parts of the country. And we were kind of back and forth Illinois a couple of years ago, and now we're starting to just be back and forth everywhere, and I'm loving it and getting out there and sharing my songs with other people. It's been a great couple of years, and I'm very thankful.
All right, well, I got 3 quick questions I'm going to fire at you in rapid succession. Are you ready?
Yeah, man, bring it.
All right. Number 1, do you sing in the shower?
Not so much. I actually I know you want a quick response, but I've been trying to get healthier. I've been trying to cut back on all the partying. I joined the Y here in Bloomington, and so I try not to sing in the shower at the Y because people are next to me, and that might be a little weird.
All right, man.
But at home, at home, yeah, because it always sounds good in there. At home, I do, I guess.
Right on. Well, number 2, your favorite summer camp moment.
Let's see here. That's a great question, man.
You got a lot of years to draw on.
Yeah, no, we had my buddy Garrett, his son. We were out there watching another show. I think it was Les Claypool or something, and my buddy Garrett came up to me and said, "Hey, my girlfriend's son and our son, he wants to do this song with you that I do. I do this song called The Watch Doctor, and in the song I do this long 2 or 3 minute spoken word and I just ramble on like I always do. But this kid memorized it word for word, and they said, "Would you mind if he joined you?" And I said, "Why not?" I was like, "It's summer camp. We try weird things." So this kid, Troy, I think he was maybe 8 or 10 at the time. He came up there, and people were screaming. It was packed. It was late. Drunk and stoned people were yelling at him and just nonstop. And he got up there and just killed it. He didn't miss a beat. And I just played guitar, and he did this spoken word to the guitar, and just he didn't miss a word. It was one of the coolest things that has ever happened to me on stage, for sure.
Hell yeah, man! I wish I could have witnessed that. It would have been awesome, man.
Yeah, it was a highlight. It's actually, I think there's a couple YouTube videos of it. He does a really good job.
Dude, I'll have to search for that and check that out for sure, man.
Yeah.
And my last question, at the festivals and on the festival circuit, you run into a lot of different bands, a lot of different performers.
Sure.
We've had the guys from Brainchild on, and Jordan from Afternoon Moon, and we talked to these guys about the festivals, and their favorite thing about festivals and doing festivals seems to be the opportunities to play with other musicians. And
sure,
so I wanted to ask, is there just any one musician out there that you'd love to just sit down on stage, or even just in in your bedroom or in the kitchen and just jam with?
Just a few weeks ago, I got to play with one of my heroes. His name's Todd Snyder. He's kind of in the same genre as Arlo Guthrie and John Prine, and I got to open up for him a couple times. And not that long ago, we got to play a few songs together at a little after-party function, and that was just a blast. And other than him, John Prine is he's my guy. He's my favorite musician of all time. He's never really written a song that I didn't like. His words just inspire me, and he's originally an Illinois guy, and when I moved to Chicago and decided the band thing wasn't going to happen, I kind of just fell in love with his music, and I've been kind of pursuing John Prine forever. So if I could play a couple songs with him, that would be definitely a dream come true.
Hell yeah, my man. Well, listen, we've only got a few minutes left with you. So, Vic Nasty, I wanted to throw it back to you, brother, for any last questions or words you might have.
Cody, just stay on the grind out there, man. I can't wait to see where the journey takes you, and I'll definitely be listening. I
appreciate it, man, and cheers to you, Manitou. Had some good times over there over the years, for sure.
They're known for it.
Yeah, I'm sure we probably partied in Green Valley or something a couple times back in the day. We just don't even know it.
Yeah, they might have. The Fits In, there you go.
Yeah, that's right. I played pool at the Fits In one time, and 2 horses walked into the bar. I'm not even kidding. They walked into the bar. They walked in the bar, and they walked around the pool tables twice, and then they walked back out. Real 4-legged horses. It's not even a joke. It's for real.
That's great knowledge for you.
Yeah.
I would definitely be looking at my drink going, who put what in this?
Yeah. That really happened. I'm told. I was there.
Oh, my. Well, listen, Cody, with the last couple minutes we got with you, man, I just wanted to give you the opportunity to let our listeners know, how they can get in touch with you and how they can follow along with your career.
Sure. You can learn more about me at chicagofarmer.com, and I'll be back in Peoria on October 4th, and I'm really looking forward to it. I grew up in Delavan. We used to really play a lot in Peoria. I used to play the Red Barn and the One World Coffee House, and I've got a lot of fond memories. I kind of really, of all the places I played, the Red Barn was kind of like one of those places where I really feel like I became Chicago Farmer there in that back room. I started telling stories and doing sing-alongs back there a lot. So Peoria holds a special spot for me from that place, and all the other places I've played and all the people I've met in Central Illinois. And if you come out on October 4th, you can grab a vinyl. We're playing some great songs. It's going to sound great in there, and we're going to have a good time.
Yeah, and for those people that have advanced tickets, advanced ticket holders get $5 off the vinyl. So, you can save a couple bucks if you get your tickets early.
Yeah, that's right. We always like the pre-sales. Kind of gives us an idea how we're doing. We're going to promote it and harass you no matter what. But we love it when people buy those tickets in advance, and it's going to be a great show. I've never played the Apollo, but I went and checked it out, and man, it's going to sound great, and it's going to be intimate and fun, and we're gonna have a good old time, sing a bunch of songs. So encourage everybody to come out.
Hell yes. And again, that's October 4th down at the Apollo Theater. It's on the 300 block of Main Street, right above Richards. And if you haven't ever caught Chicago Farmer live or listened to any of his music, October 4th is definitely the night to get down to the Apollo and not only see the music, but that Apollo Theater, Cody, I'm telling you, man, that place is awesome. And everybody I've talked to that's gigged there says that they would love to come back. It's probably the best venue Peoria's got.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's all ages, too, so bring the kiddos. I know they can't usually come, but you can bring them this time. And so we'll have a little something for everybody. My buddy Pete Jives from the Chicago area, he's going to open up the show. He's got some great songs, great voice, and come on out. We'll entertain you.
They call him Crazy Legs, is that it?
Yeah, he dances around quite a bit. He gets into it. He's very physical up there on stage. Me, not so much. I stomp my feet and just sing. But yeah, Pete has a good time. He dances around a little bit. He gets everybody involved. I don't think he really has that nickname. I just called him that recently, and it's kind of stuck. So,
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. Well, listen, Cody, a.k.a. Chicago Farmer, for myself and Vic Nasty and everybody listening tonight, brother, thank you for taking the time, and I can't wait to see you October 4th, man.
Hey, come on out. I'll buy you guys a beer. Thanks so much for doing this, and I'll be tuning in next Sunday, and we'll talk to you guys real soon.
Oh, yeah,
for sure, man. You take care of yourself, and I'm going to send you on your way with a little track called Backseat. You be good, Cody.
All right, take care, guys. Thanks.
All of my troubles and all of my blues, well, they take a backseat when I'm with you. And all of my friends and my guitars too, yeah, they take a backseat when I'm with you. 'Cause you and me, baby, we drive around. You fix me up when I break